Hi guys, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you my go-to lighting setup for doing any white backdrop portraiture. So this lighting setup consists of 4 lights and they're all parallel to each other, and as always I'm going to show you one light at a time. So first of all, we've got our 90cm Octobox, which is going to be our main light for this photo shoot, and we haven't got a grid on this because we want this light to fill as much of this scene as possible and illuminate as much of Hannah as possible. So if I just do a couple of shots, I'm just going to show you. So let's do 2 now. So as you can see, it looks quite grey on our backdrop, and there's a shadow down this side of Hannah's face, and there's also a shadow appearing on our white backdrop. Now we're going to fix the white backdrop a little bit later, but what we need to be doing, especially with this lighting setup, is softening that shadow. Now some people prefer it without this fill light, but I'm going to show you with and without. So I've got another softbox here, which is just a square softbox. It's also 45 degrees to Hannah, so that's why these are both facing the same angle. And this is just going to fill in the shadow. Now it's not going to be on the same power, it's probably going to be one stop lower than this. If we still want to see the shadow, we just want to soften it a little bit. I'm just going to do a quick little test shot just to see if I need to turn it down at all. But what we are looking for is that shadow to be softened and the whites not to be blown out. So as you can see, we get a nice soft graduated glow across Hannah's face with these 2 lights. Now what you will notice is Hannah's going to have 2 catch lights too, one as an Octobox and one as a softbox. Now if you're not liking the softbox, the Octobox, you can swap it over for another softbox of the same size if you do want to have matching catch lights, but I quite prefer the Octobox to be a more bigger light source, so it gives a more dominating catch light in the eyes. Now this looks really nice because what's also happening is these 2 lights are both filling up this area and it's illuminating our white backdrop, but it's just off white. This fill light has now filled in that shadow. It's given a lovely 2 light graduated effect across Hannah's face, so she is now evenly lit, even though this side is a little bit less power because we do want a bit of definition and a slight shadow, but not too much. But what we got a challenge with, if you do want to get a white backdrop, is as Hannah's wearing a white top, we now got to try and balance the white backdrop with this white top. So I'm going to turn on the backlights and I'm going to show you what will happen. So to get a white backdrop, ideally you want lights hitting the white backdrop, and this will, and if you overexpose it by a tiny bit, you will get a pure white. Now we've got 2 lights at the back, both got reflector hoods on, and they're both directing the light again into the centre of the paper here behind Hannah. And what the problem is going to be is this white backdrop is now going to act like a giant light as well. To get it pure white, it's going to reflect back. And what we don't want is then Hannah disappearing with her white top. So it looks like she's just got a head and trousers. We do want to be seeing this white outfit in there. So we're just going to do a little test shot as well. So what you will find is a pure white. Now the reason we got it pure white as well is they're also on the same power hitting the middle of the backdrop. Now you can probably see Hannah's fading away a little bit here. So the best way to actually do it, especially if you haven't got anything to flag the light, is to get Hannah to move off the backdrop and come further forward. So if you wouldn't mind doing a step or 2 forward, and then if we do that again, just going to do that again. Now can you see as Hannah's now further away, we don't get to that wraparound now. Now the reason I love this lighting set, so especially if I'm doing family portraits, is there's a lot of shooting area here, and we can, if Hannah moved over to your right, if you wanted to do that, you're going to get a similar photo. Apart from this, is going to act more like a keyed light, when you just have to swap the powers around. But can you see we get a steady white on either side, and if you come back this side, you're going to get a consistent look to these images, whether Hannah's in the middle or slightly off centre. So that's why if you're photographing children or families, there's a large area in which you can shoot in and get the correct exposure. Now, a common mistake a lot of people do, especially if they're not used to being in a studio. Hannah, would you mind going right to the back of the white paper. And this is what everyone does. It's just a thing everyone does, is when they walk straight onto a white backdrop, they go to the very, very back. And what's going to actually happen is these backlights are going to blow Hannah out and give this really horrible look, and she's going to be virtually bleached out. So when you do this light setup, make sure that your model or your family are in the centre of the paper between the backlights and the front lights. So Hannah, if you want to come much further forward, do you know what, shall we just grab a couple more photos, and then I'm going to change up what we're going to do slightly. So now that we've actually taken some photos, what's also great about this lighting setup is if we just angle the lights lower down, we can actually get some nice floor sitting shots as well, because everything's going to be illuminated white. So Hannah, if I could get you sat down, I'm going to lower these lights down so that they are aimed down towards Hannah, and we're going to also capture some other shots for you. We just lowered the lights, and as Hannah's sitting down, I'm also going to be kneeling too. But as we got these lights angled down, we're still going to get the pure white backdrop. It's still going to illuminate all of the back. These lights are going to illuminate all of the front again, and you will get an identical effect. So that actually shows how versatile this is if you've got people of different heights, and also what poses you also want them to be doing. So if we just do some sitting down, we're going to grab a few here. Oh, I need to go a little bit further back because I've got a 50mm on, because we're filming on my standard lens. So as you can see, you can get similar effects now sitting down. So this is a very, very versatile lighting setup. Now if you do want to be doing more constructive poses, or you want to add something in it, we can add posing blocks and things like that. So I'm going to grab a posing block, and we're going to get it set up. So you kind of get the high ones, the low ones, and now a middle range one for you. So now we've got Hannah on a block, so she's sort of mid-height to where she was before, being high up and then low down, and now on a posing block. So what I try and do, if it's me, I try and keep one light high and one light low. I kind of keep the fill light a little bit lower, so it's just filling in that shadow, but I try and keep this one higher so we do get that Rembrandt loop lighting effect for this. And then when we are taking photos, I'll also stay at the same height. I'm probably going to be kneeling in front of the camera now, and again you're going to get a very, very similar result as well. So now that we have done some with the box, you can easily see that the box doesn't wrap around the white as well, and we've managed to keep Hannah correctly exposed, get pure white. It's a 4-light setup. Now just to finish off, I'm going to turn off that fill light, and then you can see how much shadow will actually happen, because you've got to remember that is also the backlight is also going to be a large softbox as well. We'll turn this off. Okay. So I'm just going to do just some 3/4 length ones now, and as you can see with that fill light off, you do get a shadow, but it's quite a soft shadow. So if you only have 3 lights, you can also get away with this. Now we'll also come across a little bit more contrasted too, because that isn't being filled. So if you found that too bright, personally, feel free to also turn it down. And if you've only got 3 lights, keep it to this. If you do 3 lights, make sure your key light is at an angle which is going to illuminate as much of your model as possible. So we'll just take a couple more shots. I'm going to go full length now with these, just to show you what also happens to the box. Alright, so you get a lot more shadow down the box. You may even get shadow on the floor of the box fading away, but it is quite a soft shadow, so you shouldn't need to do too much Photoshop work with it. Now I hope you have enjoyed that video. Hannah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video.